Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of sky cams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together, we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi there.
Oh, yeah, we're on the wrong computer. There we go.
All better.
Yep.
Hi. Thanks for joining us for WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. Happy Fall Thursday. And I'm saying Fall Thursday because it's finally feeling like fall and not summer.
Yeah, our temperatures in the low 80s for some spots, like Natchez and Macomb. We're a little bit warmer in Jackson, but still only 86. And we have a little bit of a breeze coming through, some winds coming down at around 12 miles per hour. We could see gusts stronger than that through the afternoon, around 15 to even 20 at times. So a little bit of a breezy condition, but that's all that we're seeing. As far as our first alert radar is concerned, we are not seeing much in the way of rainfall at all. We have some scattered showers to the north, but most of us are just seeing some cloud cover as a cold front passes across the area.
Yeah, it's just about passed through, and we were expecting to see a few of these isolated little sprinkles again, especially as you go further to the north. That's just kind of some leftover moisture, and the low pressure system that brought us this cold front is just to our north too, in Tennessee. So that's going to continue to bring us maybe a couple of those little showers through the rest of the day. But yeah, most of us are not going to see any rain. We've got passing clouds, but breaks and some sunshine too. And it's pretty much going to be the same thing for you going into the rest of this afternoon, and even into tomorrow is going to look essentially just like this.
Yeah. Temperatures in the mid 80s. We got partly cloudy skies, but we will be clearing out overnight. So tomorrow we expect to see some more sunshine across the area. Temperatures pretty similar, lower to mid 80s. We'll still see a little bit of a breezy condition in the afternoon, or a little bit of a breeze coming through. 10 to 15 miles per hour, possible perhaps 20 mile per hour wind gusts in the afternoon, possible, but most of us seeing calm weather, especially as we head into the weekend. It's going to still feel like fall for your Saturday and Sunday. So great football weather. We've got some home games in around the state. So overall, at least that's what I believe what I heard.
Yes, we've got some home games. We've got home games in Oxford, Starkville, and Hattiesburg. So anywhere you go, it's going to feel pretty good. It'll be a little bit warmer the further south you go. So if you're headed to watch Southern play, then maybe the short sleeves. But if you're headed up to Oxford, it's going to be a little bit cooler. Probably feel about the same in Starkville with highs in the low to mid 80s. But those lows, especially in areas further to the north, are going to be into the upper 50s through the overnight Saturday night. And it's going to cool down pretty quickly once the sun sets. So if you're headed that way for a game, be prepared to maybe have to put on a little light sweater if you're going to be out late.
Yeah, and those overnight lows, they are going to remain kind of in the lower 60s, but kind of increase a little bit heading into our next week. For the next 7 days, we see that we'll be back in the mid 60s for overnight lows for the start of your week. Your afternoon high upper 80s to low 90s possible, at least for the start. However, our humidity is going to remain low. So thankfully, we don't expect it to really feel warmer than it actually is. So while the temperature may say 90, it'll still feel fairly comfortable. We're not going to have the humidity that we usually have during the summertime. So it's still going to feel fairly dry as we head into the next week. And that is going to last. We're even going to cool off a little bit more heading into the following weekend. So while we're starting off Monday and Tuesday pretty warm, then by the end of the week, we're likely to be back into the mid 80s heading into the following weekend. So that's going to be the first weekend in October. And it looks like it'll be pretty comfortable as well.
Which also means pretty comfortable conditions for the fair, which starts next Thursday, I believe, on October 2nd. So really getting close. And of course, we do typically see some more seasonable conditions set in by the time the fair gets here. Going to be one of those fair weeks, it looks like, or at least weekends where you want the short sleeves or even the tank top if you're going to get out in the middle of the day. Bring a little light sweater with you if you're going to be flailing around on a ride and those temperatures are starting to cool off. It's going to get kind of chilly. So pretty typical fall fair weather for us. And
really nice to finally feel the new season instead of just having the calendar say it's fall. You can step outside and you can think to yourself, it is actually fall. But it certainly looks like that in the tropics as well, because we know that late summer, early fall, that's typically the peak of hurricane season. We're definitely seeing a lot of activity. We've got Hurricane Gabrielle over in the eastern Atlantic by now. It's actually going to be affecting parts of southern Europe, northern Africa as a low pressure system. So that's heading over across the Atlantic. However, Tropical Storm Umberto still heading towards the north and west. So that's going to potentially even bring the outer bands, showers and storms to parts of the Carolinas, certainly rip currents and things like that, ocean swelling as it strengthens to a hurricane. But there's also a disturbance that's right beside it, Invest 94L, that has a good chance of becoming a storm, a tropical storm rather, and that could even potentially make landfall in the Carolinas as we continue into the next week. So there's certainly a lot of things to watch over in the Atlantic. We are not tracking any of these storms, at least our models haven't really been projecting them heading towards the Gulf Coast, so to speak. However, we have seen the East Coast of the United States likely going to be impacted by, if not at least the outermost bands of Umberto, then perhaps even taking direct landfall for this other system that is expected to form into the weekend. So there's a lot of active weather going on in the tropics.
Yeah. So for now, it doesn't look like those systems are headed to central Mississippi, but just stay with us in our first alert forecast because it's a ways away before we really see those take shape and see how they're going to move, because there's going to be other pattern changes happening here in the continental U.S. that those could kind of run into, and that's going to impact the forecast as well. But if you're headed to the East Coast, then do keep in mind that it might be a little bit stormy over that direction. Here at home, things are quiet now, and they're going to stay pretty quiet for the foreseeable future, and they're going to stay relatively cool. So a good look for us. Yeah. And especially as we head into this coming weekend. So we got Melissa Price and Sonia Blackwell in the chat. Hey there. Thanks for joining us. This is one more look from our First Alert Skycam at the Sheraton in Flowood. It's a nice afternoon for you. And we'll have more coming up later on WLBT News.
Yeah.